10 Signs Libra is ready for a new self-love level. Not everyone is ready for what this message contains. But if you are a Libra who has been feeling a stirring inside, a quiet restlessness that tells you something is changing, then stay right here. There comes a point in every Libra's journey where the old patterns of self-neglect simply cannot hold anymore. It is not that you wake up one morning with perfect self-esteem and unshakable confidence. It is more like a series of small cracks appearing in the wall you built between yourself and your own worth. Each crack lets in a little more light, a little more truth, a little more of the love you have been giving freely to everyone else but withholding from yourself. And eventually, those cracks become wide enough that the wall cannot stand. It falls, and behind it is a version of you that has been waiting patiently, quietly for years. A version that knows its own value and is finally ready to live accordingly. Today, we are going to explore 10 signs that you are approaching that moment. 10 signals that the universe is sending you, telling you that you are ready for a new level of self-love. Not the superficial kind that gets posted on social media, but the deep, transformative kind that changes everything about how you live, how you love, and how you move through the world. Sign 1. The first sign that you are ready for a new level of self-love is that you have grown tired of your own excuses. For years, you have had a ready supply of reasons for why you could not prioritize yourself. You were too busy taking care of others. The timing was not right. Other people needed you more. There would be time for yourself later, once everyone else was settled and satisfied. And for a long time, those excuses worked. They kept you safely locked into the pattern of self-neglect that felt so familiar, so noble, so Libra. But something has shifted. The excuses that once sounded reasonable now sound hollow. When you catch yourself saying, "I will take care of myself once," you hear the lie in it. You know that there will always be another reason to postpone your own well-being, because that is how the cycle works. It feeds itself, creating an endless parade of urgent obligations that conveniently prevent you from ever turning inward. The fatigue you feel toward your own excuses is not cynicism, and it is not giving up. It is awareness. It is the part of you that has grown wise enough to see the pattern for what it is. A defense mechanism that keeps you busy so you never have to face the terrifying question of what would happen if you actually treated yourself with the same tenderness you show to everyone else. That question is terrifying because it threatens to upend everything you have built your identity upon. If you are not the selfless caretaker, who are you? If your value is not measured by your sacrifice, what measures it? These questions do not have easy answers, but the fact that you are willing to ask them, the fact that your old excuses no longer satisfy you, is the first and perhaps most important sign that you are ready for something new. You are tired of pretending that you are fine with the crumbs when your soul is hungry for the whole meal. You are tired of promising yourself that someday will come when you know that someday is a place where dreams go to die. And that exhaustion, that deep, bone-level weariness with your own self-deception, is the doorway to the next level of self-love. Not because exhaustion itself is healing, but because it is the honest acknowledgement that what you have been doing is no longer working. And honesty, Libra, is always where transformation begins. You have spent so much energy maintaining the illusion that you are fine, that everyone else's needs should come first, that self-sacrifice is a virtue rather than a slow form of erosion. But the illusion is cracking, and instead of trying to repair it, you are finally willing to let it fall. That willingness is not weakness. It is the strongest thing you have ever done. Sign 2. The second sign is that other people's opinions of you have started to lose their gravitational pull. Not completely and not all at once, but noticeably. Where once a single critical comment could send you spiraling for days, now it lands differently. It still stings perhaps, but it no longer defines your day. It no longer rewrites the story you tell yourself about who you are. You hear the criticism, you consider whether it has merit, and then you let it go. Not because you have become indifferent or hard-hearted, but because you have developed an internal compass that is gradually becoming more reliable than the external validation you have depended on for so long. This is a seismic shift for Libra. Your sign has always been oriented toward others, tuned into their perceptions, shaped by their reflections. You have used other people as mirrors your entire life, looking to their eyes for confirmation that you are enough, that you are doing well, that you are worthy of love and respect. And when those mirrors reflected approval, you felt whole. But when they reflected disappointment or disapproval, you shattered. The new level of self-love is not about smashing all the mirrors. It is about learning to see yourself clearly without them. It is about developing your own reflection, your own assessment of your worth, your own understanding of who you are, and what you bring to the world. And that reflection, unlike the ones provided by others, does not change based on someone else's mood or agenda. It remains steady, consistent, true. The process of building that internal reflection is not instant. It happens gradually, through 1,000 small moments of choosing your own perspective over someone else's. Each time you hear a criticism and do not internalize it immediately, you are building the muscle. Each time you receive praise and recognize that you already knew you did well before anyone else confirmed it, you are strengthening the foundation. Each time you stand in a room full of opinions and still feel centered in your own truth, you are proving to yourself that you no longer need the world to tell you who you are. You are beginning to know, deeply and unshakably, who you are, and that knowing is worth more than 1,000,000 approving glances. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Sign 3. The third sign is that you have started to mourn lost time without letting it paralyze you. This is a subtle but significant development. There is a stage in every Libra's awakening where you look back at the years you spent dimming yourself, accommodating others, and neglecting your own needs, and the grief hits you like a wave. You think about all the opportunities you missed because you were too busy being available for everyone else. You think about the relationships you stayed in long past their expiration date because leaving felt like abandoning your duty. You think about the dreams you shelved, the passions you suppressed, the adventures you declined, all in service of a version of love that asked everything from you and gave so little in return. That grief is real, and it deserves to be felt. But the sign that you are ready for a new level of self-love is that the grief does not stop you. You feel it, you honor it, and then you keep moving. You do not use the lost years as evidence that change is pointless. You do not tell yourself that it is too late to start living differently. You do not let the weight of the past crush the possibility of the future. Instead, you use the grief as fuel. You let it remind you of the urgency of the present moment, of the preciousness of the time you have left, of the absolute non-negotiability of living from this point forward in alignment with your own truth. The grief becomes a teacher rather than a tormentor. It says, look at what happened when you forgot yourself. Do not forget again. And you listen, not with shame, not with self-punishment, but with a gentle determination that is more powerful than any anger or regret could ever be. You are turning the pain of the past into the purpose of the present, and that alchemy, that ability to transform suffering into wisdom, is one of the highest expressions of self-love there is. You are not erasing the years you lost. You are honoring them by ensuring that the years ahead are lived with the full presence and intention they deserve. Every day that you choose yourself going forward is a day that redeems the ones that came before. Not because those days were wasted, because they were not. They taught you everything you needed to know to arrive at this moment. But because each new day of self-honoring proves that the lessons were received, integrated, and put into practice. You are not starting over. You are starting from experience, and that is infinitely more powerful. Sign 4. The fourth sign is that you have begun to recognize the difference between loneliness and solitude. For most of your life, these two experiences have been collapsed into a single feeling. The feeling of being alone, which for Libra has always carried the flavor of something being wrong. Your sign is designed for partnership, for connection, for the beautiful interplay between two souls who see and understand each other. And so being alone has always felt like a malfunction, a deviation from the natural order, evidence that something in your life is broken or incomplete. But you are starting to experience moments of being alone that do not feel broken at all. Moments when the silence in your home feels peaceful rather than oppressive. Moments when an evening without plans feels like a gift rather than a failure. Moments when your own company is not just tolerable but genuinely enjoyable. This distinction between loneliness and solitude is one of the most important things you will ever learn, because it is the difference between needing others to feel whole and choosing others because you already feel whole. When you are lonely, you reach for connection out of desperation, and that desperation leads you into relationships and interactions that may not serve you, simply because they fill the void. But when you are in solitude, you are already full. You are complete within yourself, And the connections you form from that place of fullness are fundamentally different. They are chosen rather than needed, desired rather than required, enjoyed rather than endured. The ability to sit in solitude without anxiety, without the compulsive need to fill the silence, without reaching for your phone or turning on the noise just to feel less alone. That ability is a sign that your relationship with yourself has deepened beyond the superficial. You are becoming your own companion, your own comfort, your own source of peace. And from that place of inner companionship, you are able to love others more freely, more generously, and more sustainably than you ever could when you were using them to escape the discomfort of being with yourself. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Sign 5. The fifth sign is that your body has started speaking to you more loudly, and you have started listening. For years, your body sent you signals that you ignored. Told you it was exhausted and you pushed through. It told you it was in pain and you dismissed it. It told you it needed rest, nourishment, movement, care. And you told it to wait because there were more important things to attend to, namely everyone else's needs. But the body has a way of refusing to be silenced forever. Eventually, the whispers become shouts. The tension becomes chronic. The fatigue becomes unshakable. The aches and pains that you attributed to aging or stress start to reveal themselves as the physical manifestation of years of emotional self-neglect. The sign that you are ready for a new level of self-love is that you have started to hear those shouts and respond to them with compassion rather than frustration. Instead of pushing through exhaustion, you rest. Instead of ignoring pain, you seek understanding. Instead of treating your body as an inconvenient vehicle for your ever-accommodating mind, you start treating it as a partner, an ally, a wise and patient friend who has been trying to guide you home to yourself for longer than you realize. This is not about following some rigid health regimen or achieving a particular physical ideal. It is about the simple, radical act of caring for yourself the way you have always cared for others. It is about feeding yourself properly, sleeping enough, moving your body in ways that feel good rather than punishing, and listening when your physical self tells you that something needs to change. The self-love that lives in your body is different from the self-love that lives in your mind. It is more primal, more honest, more immediate. Your mind can rationalize self-neglect endlessly, but your body cannot. Your body keeps the score, as they say, and the score right now is telling you that it is time to start playing a different game. One where you are not the last priority but the first. One where taking care of yourself is not a luxury you earn but a responsibility you honor. One where the vessel that carries you through this beautiful, complicated, achingly brief life is treated with the reverence it has always deserved. Sign 6. The sixth sign is that you have started to feel genuinely happy for others without a shadow of comparison or inadequacy. This is a profound shift, and it is one that many people never achieve. For most of your life, your happiness for others has been tinged with something else. A quiet voice that whispered, "Why not me?" When someone else succeeded, a subtle pang of envy when a friend announced good news, a momentary contraction of your heart when you saw someone living the life you secretly longed for. And you hated yourself for those feelings because they contradicted everything you believed about who you were supposed to be. Libra is supposed to be fair, generous, happy for others' joy. And you were mostly. But underneath the genuine happiness was a layer of pain that you could not quite name. The pain of watching others receive what you had not yet given yourself permission to pursue. When you are ready for a new level of self-love, that shadow begins to dissolve. Not because you force it away, but because the source of it has been addressed. You are no longer watching others live fully while you live partially. You are no longer watching others receive love while you stand outside in the cold. You are filling your own cup, attending to your own dreams, building your own life with intention and care. And from that place of personal fulfillment, other people's success becomes genuinely inspiring rather than secretly threatening. You can celebrate a friend's promotion without wondering why you have not been promoted. You can rejoice in a loved one's happiness without feeling that their joy highlights your own deficiency. You can witness beauty and success and abundance in the world around you and feel nothing but warmth, because your sense of worth is no longer dependent on being the one who has the most or does the best. It is grounded in something much more stable. The knowledge that you are on your own path, moving at your own pace, and that path is exactly where you need to be. This freedom from comparison is one of the sweetest fruits of self-love, and the fact that you are beginning to taste it tells me that you are closer to the next level than you might think. Sign 7. The 7th sign is that you have stopped explaining yourself to people who are not going to understand. There was a time when you would exhaust yourself trying to make everyone see your perspective. If someone misunderstood your intention, you would launch into a detailed explanation. If someone disagreed with your decision, you would present your reasoning like a case before a jury, hoping that if you just found the right words they would finally get it. But you have learned something that has changed everything. Not everyone is going to get it, and more importantly, not everyone needs to. Some people will misunderstand you no matter how clearly you communicate, because their misunderstanding is not about a lack of information. It is about a difference in values, in experiences, in the fundamental way they see the world. And no amount of explaining can bridge a gap that wide. The self-love in this shift is the recognition that your peace is more valuable than someone else's understanding. You have stopped trading your calm for the chance to be validated by someone who is never going to validate you anyway. You have started walking away from conversations that go in circles, not with anger or contempt, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their own truth and does not need anyone else to confirm it. This is not arrogance. It is sovereignty. It is the decision to invest your energy where it will grow rather than where it will be wasted. And it is a sign that your self-love has matured beyond the need for universal approval into a deeper, more sustainable place of inner knowing. Sign 8. The 8th sign is that you have begun to invest in your future self. For years, your investments of time, energy, money, and attention have been directed outward. You invested in other people's dreams, other people's comfort, other people's potential. And while there is beauty in supporting others, the imbalance was staggering. You gave to everyone else's future while neglecting your own. But now something is shifting. You are starting to make decisions that serve the person you are becoming, not just the person you are today. You are saving for something that matters to you. You are learning something that excites you. You are building habits that will compound over time into a life that looks and feels like yours. This future-oriented self-love is powerful because it requires hope. It requires you to believe that the future is worth preparing for, that you will be here to enjoy it, that the life you are building will actually be lived by a version of you who is happy, fulfilled, and free. And for a Libra who has spent so long focused on the present needs of others, this shift in temporal orientation is nothing short of revolutionary. You are planting seeds in your own garden now, Libra, and the harvest will be more beautiful than anything you have ever grown for someone else. Not because their gardens were not worthy of your care, but because this one is yours. And tending it with the same devotion you have always shown to others is the most powerful statement of self-love you can make. It says loudly and clearly, I matter. My future matters. My dreams matter. And I am willing to do the work to bring them to life. Sign 9. The 9th sign is that you have started to feel a deep, quiet gratitude for yourself. Not the kind of gratitude that is performative or forced, not the kind that you manufacture during a morning meditation because you read that you are supposed to be thankful for yourself. This is different. This is a spontaneous welling up of appreciation for the person you have been, the struggles you have endured, the kindness you have shown, the strength you have demonstrated. All of it, even the messy parts, even the parts you are not proud of. You look in the mirror and instead of cataloging your flaws, you see someone who has survived. Someone who has loved fiercely, given generously, fought quietly, and endured remarkably. And that someone deserves your gratitude, not because they are perfect, but because they are here. Because despite everything, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the years of self-neglect, the crushing weight of everyone else's expectations, they kept going. They kept showing up. They kept trying to find balance in a world that made balance nearly impossible. That gratitude for yourself is the soil in which the next level of self-love will grow. It is the foundation upon which everything else will be built. Because you cannot truly love someone you do not appreciate. And for the first time in your life, you are beginning to appreciate yourself. Not for what you do, but for who you are. Not for how well you serve others, but for the simple, magnificent fact of your existence. That shift in perspective, from doing to being, from earning to existing, from proving to simply living, is the essence of the transformation you are undergoing. And it is beautiful. Sign 10. The 10th and final sign is that you are no longer waiting for permission to begin. This is perhaps the most telling sign of all, because it reveals a fundamental change in how you relate to your own authority. For most of your life, you waited. You waited for someone to tell you it was okay to rest. You waited for someone to assure you that your needs mattered. You waited for someone to validate your desire for change before you allowed yourself to pursue it. You lived in a perpetual state of readiness, prepared to move but unable to take the first step without someone else's blessing. But you are done waiting. You can feel it in the way you have been listening to this message. Not passively, not as entertainment, but actively, as someone who is already in motion. You are not listening to learn about self-love someday. You are listening because you are practicing it right now, in this very moment, by giving yourself the time and space to hear what your soul already knows. The permission you have been waiting for. It was never going to come from outside. No partner, no friend, no family member, no spiritual teacher, no video on the internet was ever going to give you the permission you needed. Because the permission was always yours to grant. It lived inside you the whole time, buried beneath layers of conditioning and self-doubt, and the relentless belief that other people's authority mattered more than your own. But you see it now. You feel it now. The permission is yours. It has always been yours. And the fact that you are finally claiming it, finally stepping into your own authority, finally deciding that you do not need anyone else to tell you that you are allowed to love yourself, that is the clearest sign of all that you are ready for the next level. And so, Libra, here you stand at the threshold of something new. Not new in the way the world usually means it. Not a new diet, a new habit, a new routine that you will try for a few weeks before returning to old patterns. New in the truest sense. A new relationship with yourself, built not on obligation or guilt or performance, but on genuine, unshakable, unconditional love. The kind of love you have always given to others and never quite managed to give to yourself. That love is available to you now. It is not something you need to earn or deserve or prove yourself worthy of. It is simply something you need to accept. And acceptance, for a Libra who has spent a lifetime seeking acceptance from others, is the most transformative act of all. Because when you accept yourself, fully, completely, without reservation, you stop needing the world to do it for you. And in that freedom, in that glorious, hard-won, deeply deserved freedom, you discover that the love you were always looking for was never out there somewhere. It was here, inside you, waiting for you to come home. Welcome home, Libra. You have been missed. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.